we're going to explain how to download a file using jQuery's Ajax functionality. This is a common task, but it requires careful handling because we're not just fetching text. We're dealing with binary data. The key is to set the response type property of the Ajax request to blob. This tells jQuery to expect a binary large object, blob, which represents the file's raw data. Once we have the blob, we can create a URL from it using the write single quote url.createObjectURL method. This URL points directly to the blob in the browser's memory, allowing us to use it as if it were a regular file URL. Then, we create a hidden A element, set its href attribute to this temporary URL, and trigger a click event on it to initiate the download. This is a crucial step because directly navigating to a data URL might not reliably trigger the download behavior in all browsers. 1. Setting up the jQuery Ajax call. First, we'll make our Ajax request using the $Ajax method. We need to specify the URL of the file we want to download and critically, set the response type to a blob. For example, $Ajax, URL quote, your underscore file dot PDF quote, comma type, get, response type, blob. The represents other optional parameters like error handling, which are highly recommended for a robust solution. We might add a success callback function to handle the downloaded file. 2. Handling the blob. Inside the success callback, we'll receive the downloaded file as a blob object. We'll name this object, for example, blob. This blob object contains the binary data of the file. The crucial next step is to create a temporary URL to the blob using url.createObjectURL blob. This returns a string URL that the browser will understand. 3. Triggering the download. Now we need to create a hidden anchor element, A, dynamically using jQuery. We set the href attribute of this anchor element to the temporary URL we just created. We also set the download attribute to the desired file name, so the user can specify a name other than the original. Then, we use jQuery to trigger a click on this hidden anchor element, initiating the download process. Remember to remove this anchor element after initiating the download to clean up the DOM. This can be done inside a complete function or using the write single quote deferred.always. Function. 4. Error handling. It's very important to handle potential errors. Network issues or server errors can prevent the download. Include a complete error callback function within the $Ajax. Options to gracefully handle these situations and perhaps inform the user of what went wrong. 5. Complete example. A complete jQuery. Ajax function to download a file could look something like this. Remember to replace write single quote quote your underscore file dot PDF quote write single quote with your actual file URL. JavaScript $Ajax URL quote your underscore file dot PDF quote comma type get response type blob success function blob const URL $URL create object URL blob const $A adder ref URL adder download quote downloaded underscore file dot PDF adder style display none $body append a 0 dot click a dot remove URL revoke object URL / cleanup after download error function error console error download failed error / add user-friendly error message here. This approach ensures a clean, reliable, and user-friendly file download experience using jQuery Ajax. Remember always to handle errors and clean up the temporary URL after the download is complete to avoid memory leaks.